Welcome back to the channel where we chase down the most incredible automotive stories from around the globe. And today, we have something truly special for the off-road enthusiasts and collectors out there. Imagine walking through an auto show, seeing a wild concept vehicle with massive tires and aggressive styling, and thinking to yourself, I wish I could drive that home. Well, usually, that remains a fantasy, as concept cars are typically crushed or locked away in corporate museums forever. But right now, in a rare turn of events, one of the most extreme pickup truck concepts ever built by a manufacturer is actually for sale, and it is a beast that demands attention. We are talking about the Isuzu D-Max Concept X, a vehicle that started as a wild idea and became a legend in the Australian off-road scene. And now it could be yours if you have the space and the cash to grab it. Let us dive deep into what makes this truck so special and why it is reappearing on the market after nearly 8 years. The story of the Concept X is one of those classic automotive tales that begins almost by accident. According to reports, the project kicked off back in 2017 or 2018, not in a stuffy boardroom, but as a bit of a joke among the engineers and designers at Team D-Max, specifically the EMG performance team based in Australia. The story goes that they were attending a 4WD show and stumbled across a set of enormous 38-inch mud-terrain tires that looked like they belonged on a monster truck rather than a daily driver. Instead of walking past, they thought, what if we built a truck around these tires? That simple question spiraled into a full-blown development project, resulting in two twin concepts, the D-Max pickup we are looking at today and a mechanically similar MUX SUV sibling. Both were unveiled to the public with jaw-dropping stances and modifications that made the stock vehicles look like toys in comparison. While the SUV has not surfaced for sale, the pickup is now listed, and it is exactly as wild as we remember it. Let us talk about the visual impact of this machine, because you simply cannot miss it. The first thing that grabs you is the sheer size of the thing. The truck rides on those massive 38-inch Toyo open country mud-terrain tires, which necessitated some serious bodywork changes to even fit. The team had to design and fabricate custom wide-body fender flares that add significant width to the truck, giving it a bulldog stance that looks ready to crush anything in its path. The front end is equally aggressive, featuring a custom steel bumper with an integrated winch, massive recovery points, and a vented hood that hints at the performance intent. But perhaps the most striking detail is the lighting. The headlights have been tinted red, giving the truck a menacing, demonic glare that sets it apart from anything else on the trail. The rear tray has also been completely reworked, replacing the standard tub with a custom alloy tray that carries two full-size spare wheels, because when you are running tires this big, you do not want to be stranded without a backup. However, the Concept X is not just a show pony with big wheels. The engineering work underneath the chassis is where the real value lies. Fitting 38-inch tires to a midsize pickup is not a simple bolt-on job. It requires a complete re-engineering of the suspension geometry to accommodate the massive rubber. The team installed a 7-inch lift kit, which is absolutely massive in the world of independent front suspension trucks. This lift is achieved through custom remote reservoir shock absorbers and heavy-duty components that provide a whopping 50-degree approach angle, meaning you could drive this truck up a near-vertical wall and the bumper would likely clear it. The most impressive mechanical upgrade, however, is at the rear. Standard D-Max trucks come with leaf springs, which are great for carrying heavy loads, but limit articulation off-road. On the Concept X, the builders scrapped the leaf springs entirely and fabricated a custom 5-link coil spring rear suspension setup. This is the kind of modification you usually only see on high-end trophy trucks or serious rock crawlers, allowing for massive wheel travel and a smoother ride over rough terrain.
Under the hood, things are a bit more conventional, which is actually a good thing for potential buyers. The Concept X retains the factory 3-liter turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine, known as the 4JJ1 in enthusiast circles. This engine is legendary for its reliability and durability, producing around 174 horsepower and 430 newton-meters of torque. While those numbers might not sound earth-shattering for a truck of this size, the gearing and torque delivery of the Isuzu diesel mean it can still turn those massive tires with authority. Power is sent to all 4 wheels through a standard 6-speed automatic transmission, meaning that despite its monster truck looks, it drives with the mechanical familiarity of a standard Isuzu, which simplifies maintenance significantly for whoever ends up owning it. So, where can you find this beast and how much will it cost you? The truck has been listed for sale on a site called My105 and was spotted by Australian automotive journalists. It is currently located in Welshpool, a suburb of Perth in Western Australia. The asking price is listed at 65,000 Australian dollars, which converts to roughly 42,000 US dollars at current exchange rates. When you consider the cost of the custom fabrication, the suspension components, the wheels, and the labor involved, that price is arguably a bargain. In fact, it is significantly cheaper than the newly released Isuzu D-Max Blade, which is the factory flagship model, costing nearly $79,000. Perhaps the most shocking detail of the listing is the odometer reading. This truck has only traveled 385 kilometers, or about 239 miles, in its entire life. It has effectively spent the last 8 years sitting in a garage or being transported to shows, making it brand new in terms of wear and tear.
But before you rush to wire the money to Australia, there is a major catch that you need to be aware of, and it is a deal breaker for many. The Isuzu D-Max Concept X is not street legal due to the extreme nature of the modifications, particularly the width of the tires, the height of the lift, and the custom lighting. This vehicle cannot be registered for use on public roads in Australia and likely would face similar hurdles in other countries with strict vehicle standards. This limits its potential buyer pool significantly. It is not a truck you can drive to the shops or take on a daily commute. It is strictly a toy for private property, off-road parks, or a showpiece for a collector who has a large enough garage to display it. This is likely why the mileage is so low. It simply hasn't been legal to drive it anywhere other than closed courses. Despite this limitation, the sale of the Concept X represents a unique opportunity. It is rare for a manufacturer-backed concept vehicle to escape into the wild. Usually they are destroyed to avoid liability or kept for heritage fleets. For a die-hard Isuzu fan or an off-road enthusiast with access to private land, this is a chance to own a one-of-a-one vehicle that was the poster child for the brand's potential. It is a functional piece of automotive art that proves just how far a standard pickup platform can be pushed when engineers are given the freedom to have fun. So if you have a big lawn, a trailer to move it, and a love for oversized machinery, this might just be the ultimate purchase.